Before I started making this video, I'd like to give a thanks to my friend Zidane for helping me make this video and reviewing the second movie for me. A link to his channel is in the description below, and he also was the one who requested me to do the first Fred movie. Oh, and I should also mention that he accidentally said I was doing the first and third. We're not doing the entire trilogy, I'm just doing the first and he's doing the second. I'm not sure if either of us will review the third in the future, but for now, let's just stick with the first two. Thanks again to my friend Zidane for helping me make this video, and he'll probably post his part on his channel as well. Go check it out when you have a chance. And now, let's get on to the video.
Hello everyone, this is me, Cush, and welcome back to Cush's Suffering. My suffering for your amusement. And today, we're taking a movie requested by my friend Zidane called Fred the Movie. And let me say, it sucks. It really does. No, oh, sorry. Let me rephrase that. It sucks! It really does! This movie is so freaking boring! Throughout the whole movie, it's nothing but barf jokes and annoying sounds. And to be honest, I've always hated Fred. He's always been an annoying little prick, stupid idiot, betrayed terribly. And this movie, it's basically like they took one episode of his show and extended it to the length of a movie. No real story and filled with stupid, annoying jokes. That's it. And in each and every scene, they have to drag it on for as long as they can. First 20-30 minutes of the movie, we have him just trying to go over to talk with Judy, or whatever the hell that girl's name was, in so many dumb ways instead of just walking over and knocking on the door. I know there was Kevin there, but he could have easily just ignored Kevin, walked up to the door, but being the big coward that he is, he just runs away. I also hate the part when he could have just easily climbed over his fence, but because he's so stupid, he has to jump on a trampoline to get over, and jumped at a terrible spot too, or dig under when he could have easily just climbed over the wall. Could have easily have done that. Even with a trampoline that small, you should have been easily able to jump over it. It's very easy to jump high on a trampoline like this, but Fred doesn't seem to get it. And when I say Fred is stupid and annoying, he really is. Why can't they just let him have a regular voice? He's already annoying the way he is. It's just his voice makes him even more annoying. And he's so frickin' stupid. How do you not tell the difference between a small dog and a squirrel? How stupid is that? It's not even funny the way they do it. It's dumb. Let's take characters like Ed from Ed and Eddie. He's stupid, but he's likable. He's this big dork, but he has personality. He's sweet, he likes helping people, he's strong, he helps his friends. And he also has, he gets nervous at times. But Fred, he's just this big idiot who just straight up disgusts me. There's nothing interesting about him. Nothing. He's stupid, he's annoying, he's ugly, he's short, he's weak, he's cowardly. He has no interesting personalities whatsoever. Nothing about him is good. And you think he's bad? I'm just getting started. Let's move on to the other characters. All the background characters, apart from that one girl who joins him at the end, I forget her name, they're all nothing but pointless characters and complete stereotypes. Kevin, generic bully. His mom, just a generic lazy mom. Everything is so generic. The bus driver, the cool guy with the leather clothing, the people at the pet store, every single person is so freaking generic. Even the Spanish guy fixing his car. What the freaking hell? Why does everything have to be based off of stereotypes in this movie? It's so offensive. This movie was so boring. Once I got to like the 10-minute left marker, I was starting to get happy because I knew it was almost over. That was the only good thing about it. I almost passed out 3 times in this movie. It was that boring. I will admit there were a couple jokes that made me chuckle, like the damn joke. I will admit that made me chuckle a little bit, but besides that, Nothing else was funny. It was full of nothing but barf jokes and annoying characters. Well, is there anything good about it? Just one thing. Apart from the damn jokes, John Cena appears. I don't know if this movie came out before he was famous, because I don't recall him being very famous in 2010, but it's so nice to see him in this movie. He has some funny moments. Big cool guy in the middle of all these stupid, annoying characters. There's just a few scenes, but still, they're worth a few seconds. Because, trust me, every scene they have to carry on for as long as they can. Just 2 minutes of a scene feels like 10 minutes. It's that boring. You're gonna wanna wish you just didn't watch it. I don't see how anyone's even a fan of Fred to begin with. He's just this annoying, pointless kid, poorly portrayed, has no interesting qualities, and there's nothing about him except being an annoying, cowardly, weak guy who has an obnoxious voice. Even the people in the show hate him. His own mom hates him. Everyone around him hates him. How does that one girl, Judy, like him? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, I will admit, he was nice enough to go and say hi to her, walk all the way, but still, she barely knew about him, if I recall correctly. I don't know, I don't watch Fred because it's trash. It's shit and trash. Yeah, it's trash. That's what it is. The fuse between shit and trash. I call it trash. Not only does Fred have to yell everything he says, but everything that comes out of his mouth has to be something negative or annoying. Like, meh, or I'm gonna barf, or it's so freaking annoying. Just take a look at this stuff.
You can go up to Judy's back door and ask her to come over. I've never seen Judy's back door, but I'm gonna disguise myself. She'll never recognize me. I got it. Judy wants me to come find her. We have a psychic connections.
Shut the fuck up!
He sounds like a little girl. It's so fucking annoying. I just want to stab him.
I wouldn't be able to do anything and I went back into my...
Nerf for nothing, bitch. It's time this hunk of junk got what it deserved. And stay out! Well, this is it for my part. Thank you all for watching. If you have a suggestion for my show, go to the comments below or send them to the email up here. My part's over. Now time to hand it over to the Zidane, or however you pronounce it. I don't play Final Fantasy, except for the 7th one. Thank you all for watching. It was me, Cush, and I'll see you guys next time.
So, I've been editing, and now I'm doing voice covers now. I better get paid for this. I think before we should mention the abomination known as Fred 2, we should talk about the title name first. Now, this movie's apparently about vampires. Well, apparently this is renamed Night of the Living Fred. So now it's a zombie movie? I don't want to make my part too long, because I'm sure Cush got another Fred movie to cover, and, well, seeing how much he suffered through these past 2 movies now, it's probably going to be for hell for him. So I'm just going to hurry up and dial down to 4 points, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. My first reason why Fred 2 was horrible was, because of a certain character named Talia. Basically what Talia was basically the exact same image of what Fred was in Fred the movie. Fred the movie, basically the character Fred, was very stalkerish, crazy, and very unusual to his secret crush, Judy, and just basically it was very lazy what they did to this character, Talia. She was just basically the same exact as Fred to him, and Fred 2, basically to Fred himself. So basically, like how Fred was to Judy, Talia was the same exact to Fred. And I think that's dumb on 2 levels. Level 1 was basically because they're basically copying the same exact formula they was doing in Fred the movie. And 2, it's just very lazy character writing. and that just makes your movie go bland when you try to repeat the same story in a different character and with basically a squeakle, a 2-part movie, and that's probably one of the reasons why this movie was so bad. It was trying to compete better to Fred the movie, but it ultimately failed, and thus leaving it just worse than what Fred the movie was. Now, you could ask me, how was Talia the same exact as Fred? And the reason why she was like this was because in the movie Fred 2, Night of the Living Fred, Talia was basically just following Fred. Same thing Fred did to Judy, and Fred didn't even admit he was following her. So basically, Fred was acting all weird with it when he himself did the same shit to Judy, and Fred won. And with Fred 2, not only that, which was weird following Fred, Talia was also basically out of nowhere the bully's sister. Yeah, you could ask yourself, how did she appear out of nowhere? How was she Kevin's sister? Why didn't they feature her in the first movie? And the reason why was because in Fred's mind, she was never there, which was so fucking stupid. And here's why. This was so lazy. They just acted like, okay, yeah, we're just gonna secretly add this character as the bully's sister, and we're gonna tell the fans, or the people that watch our movie, that she just came out of nowhere. Fred did not even remember her. And so basically how they explained this was, Talia was always there for her brother, but Fred was never there, nor did she ever see him ever. So basically, in Fred the movie, she was technically in that movie, we just never saw her. They never gave any Easter egg to it, and they never even mentioned her name at all. So basically, in Fred 1, we would just assume Kevin did not have a sister at all, and it was just one son, that's it. So, and here's why it was lazy. If they were going to set up a Fred 2 movie, I can understand if they didn't want to show her sister or anything. Like, I think here's why I think this was bad. If they were not even self-aware while making this movie. They were just like, yeah, maybe we could just add a sister to this and make it a possible love interest. And that's why it was so bad. They could have here's what they could have done. If they didn't want to add her to the movie, that's fine. Maybe they were busy with something else, plus with the whole Judy shit. So what they could have did was just make, maybe with Kevin, maybe just make a little Easter egg. Just like mention her name or just let her face pop up. And then they could have just made that understandable. But no, they just added the character out randomly in part 2. And I think that's what kind of annoyed me with that movie, with that character. I really think they shouldn't have done that. Like, I think they should have planned ahead before making part 2. Because it just seems lazy. Like, come on. His sister was there out of nowhere. And she was just there all those years and no one saw her till now? And I think that's why, one of the reasons why that character was shit. I think a second reason why I hated Talia was that, it was just basic. When they were trying to set up like a little relationship between Fred and Bertha, his best friend. If you remember the first one, they were just hanging out, I believe. But I think in part 2 they were kind of setting it up for it. And I didn't understand why Talia was like a love interest in that movie, because it kind of does seem to ruin that love, like that relationship between those two, you know? And yeah, in the end, Fred does say that he basically low-key says he likes Bertha. But I mean, it's still, it just seems so forced, and they didn't really need Talia for that. Yeah, I honestly believe they didn't need the character Talia in that movie. It just seemed like it was just a cheap copy poster Fred, of basically a poster character of Fred. And that's why it kind of ruined that relationship between them. him with Fred and his best friend Bertha. Like, don't get me wrong, I didn't even care in the beginning between those relationships, but I think if you're gonna focus on him and his best friend as like girlfriend and boyfriend, I don't think you need. I didn't think you really needed the bully's fucking sister to be involved as well, because why? It just doesn't really add up to it. It's just like makes the movie longer between them, and that's also a point why the movie didn't really show her in that movie that much. There was only like, if I remember, watch that movie, there was only like 40, maybe 30 minutes all of the total movie what we got to see her in. Just 30 minutes. We got to see her in the beginning of the movie, maybe a little bit halfway, and then the end. Nothing else. The movie was about an hour and 40 minutes. So between that hour, I've got to see just Fred fucking off with the teacher of being a vampire, and I'll get to that point later on in the series. But I think that's mainly two reasons of why I hate Italia, and I think my third one will be is because she was just a fucking dick to her brother. Like, she was just an asshole to him. Like, here's the thing: in the end of Fred 2, the movie, when Fred was setting up that vampire prank, Kevin didn't even fucking do shit to him. Like, usually in the first movie, Kevin was just an asshole to him, but in then the second movie, he was just he was trying to be like a cheesy knockoff bully of those 80s movies you guys used to watch, but it was just so horribly bad. It was kind of funny, but like a cringe kind of funny, you know? But in that end of the movie, if you watch it, it's just they're basically just bullying Kevin. Like, Kevin didn't do shit to Fred. Basically, this was actually Fred's own fault, because what Fred did was basically he live streamed the teacher's house, and what happened was he made it seem like the teacher was like a vampire. And everyone started to believe that, including Kevin. So at the end of the movie, Kevin was trying to save his sister, and what happened was Fred dressed up basically like a vampire and basically just scared the ever-living shit out of Kevin, with his sister as like this damsel in distress. And I think that was really like an asshole move. He didn't really, like, come on. That was just an asshole move. I'm pretty sure, if anything, he was just trying to save his sister. Like, you have to watch the movie yourself, or just don't, because it's a really shitty movie. But if you watch the movie, you kind of feel bad for Kevin. Like, damn. I think a second reason why Fred 2 was horrible was that it was produced yet again for Nickelodeon Productions, and also it was the second film for a YouTuber. Like, what I mean by this was, during that time, by Nickelodeon standards, movies were already shit as it is. Like, I can give you a few examples, like a Fairy On movie, Back at the Barnyard, and The Last Airbender. And while I may have hated their movies, I actually thought their TV shows was actually better, very much better, and I do wish that they didn't even have a movie to begin with those movies. I kind of see them as a cash grab, in my opinion. And the second reason was because, and I'm going to be honest with this, you can take this with a grain of salt, I think any YouTuber, popular YouTuber, whether you're a vlogger, a commentator, or any of that, even a video gamer, I don't think you should ever do a movie. I like to call it the YouTube curse. If you were to ever produce a movie in your YouTuber, it's gonna be shit. It's gonna be utter shit. And and I have evidence behind this. I mean, look at Shane Dawson. Yes, he's a popular vlogger, but he also made a very horrible, probably no one even remembers, creepypasta movie. I forgot what it was, but I'm definitely gonna show it on screen. And the Fine Bros, they also made a movie which I Hate Everything just covered on recently. And of course, everyone remembers recently before one of the main members actually quit the company. Smosh even made a movie called The Smosh Movie, and I didn't even watch it, but I heard it was utter shit. And I think that just proves, if you're ever gonna be a popular YouTuber, never, and I mean ever, make a YouTube movie. Not only are you gonna lose money from that, it's gonna bomb in the box office, and it's gonna be utter shit. Like, you can act maybe in YouTube, and you can maybe be a popular YouTuber, but you're never gonna make it nowhere as an actor. And I may be wrong in the future. I hope I am, but saying this right now, you gotta admit, you gotta agree with me on this one. I'm kind of right. Like, maybe I could, and again, I could be wrong, but at the moment, it's hard to argue with this.
He was with Riku and me all the time. We played together on that island. His voice always used to be there, and now it's gone. I can't think of his face or his name. I feel awful.
The third reason I hated the movie Fred 2 was because Fred was on this rampant rampage of and I think it's very, it was just over the top dumb to think that his piano teacher was a vampire. And what I mean by this is, he actually tried to find this best and hardest evidence he could find to find this teacher. By the way, I forgot the name because oh my god, I think his name was Devint, which was basically Kevin and Devil mixed together. That's what his name was. And I'm just gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's Devint. And basically, this piano teacher Devint was supposed to be a vampire. And now you may think, for a kids show, that'd be, oh, that's wacky, cool, kooky stuff. And while that is, it's also very stupid. Like, if you're gonna do a comedy movie, if you're gonna do a comedy movie, you gotta bring some realism into this. Like, I just think if you're gonna do some stupid shit like that, maybe just find something else. Like, just say he was like a killer. Because in this movie, when you saw Fred 2, you would kind of think he was a serial killer. Like, he had this weird ass room where it's like filled with like fucking it looked like the meat locker. If you, in one scene where Fred was recording this this teacher's whole house to prove he was a vampire, it was very eerie and odd because he was basically had like this, I think it was like a head. It looked like a boar's head, but it also had like cutting body parts. And it looked like there was other chopping tools as well. And it just looked like something, maybe he could have chopped human parts up. Honestly, if that was something, yes, it may have been darker, but I think if they're gonna show something like that, they should have just went with, yeah, he was a weird ass serial killer that chopped up people. And during that time, a lot of movies actually, like kids movies, they actually did that. And yeah, they were false, they were wrong, but I mean, they did that. And I don't think they could have did it in a kiddish style, but I think they should have done that instead of a vampire type. Because, you gotta ask me this: what vampire would have a meat locker in their house? What vampire would do that? Like, it was just so very weird. Like, I think when you're making a comedy movie, much less a kids movie as well, you gotta bring some realism in it. And while I may think a vampire, they could have mentioned he was a vampire in a little bit of the movie, but I still think they should just add a little bit realism in it. Like I said, maybe he could have been a serial killer, you know, and I think that would have been more easier to explain, and I think the movie could have been better than that. And that's a third reason why I hate the movie. So I think the final reason why I hated Fred 2, Night 11 Fred, was that after suffering for an hour and 40 minutes of watching Fred 2, was that at the end of the movie where the piano teacher basically sells his house, and even when Fred tries to make up for it, he continues to sell his house, and he also tells this sob story before after his live stream went viral, the night his live stream went viral on his website, showing how Mr. David or whatever was like this vampire guy, and he was telling his life story of basically how his mother and father divorced, and I believe left France to come here in America, and he became a piano teacher, and why he loves playing piano so much and all that. And he proves that he's not a vampire. Well, at the end of the movie, before he left Fred's town, it shows that he's basically with Fred's mom right now, and they're about to leave the house. And as they leave the house, Fred has a mirror in his hand, I believe, and it shows that Mr. Devitt, aka I'm Not a Vampire, shows that his reflection isn't even in the mirror, and it shuts the door, proving that he's actually all this time a vampire. And I think that was very annoying that we were here, and it's very annoying because one, Fred was actually right this whole time, and second of all, we just wasted an hour and 40 minutes thinking that this guy may have been a potential serial killer, for one, and we were seeing these cringy scenes with Fred trying to prove a man that isn't really a vampire, and they were trying to show realistic signs that he wasn't. And don't forget that one scene where this Mr. Devitt was actually a mosquito, and in a very horrifying scene, or a very creepy scene, he actually sucks like a normal mosquito would suck somebody's blood. Mr. Devitt is shown to suck basically Fred's blood until he's like inflatable, I believe, until he's like he's basically all blood is gone, and it's like, it was very extremely weird and creepy. You would have to see the scene for yourself. Honestly, I remember watching it as a little kid, and I was kind of creeped out by that, and even today I am. But after all that, we were just wondering whether or not he wasn't a vampire, and then it turns out in a realistic point, he wasn't. But now they just threw away that whole idea and just go fucking Michael Jackson Driller and just prove he actually was. And that was very annoying, to why that movie Fred 2 would probably have to be the worst Fred movie in my opinion. Though I haven't seen Fred 3, and I'm gonna feel bad for my friend Cush to have to review it. Well, that was all the points I addressed it, and why Fred 2 was a very shit movie. I do want to thank Cush for allowing me to come on. I didn't actually think this video was going to be made. At first, because I thought he actually saw the movie before. I actually thought I actually just made it as a joke. And I didn't expect to put my voice basically in a video, because this is the first time I ever did that. So if I actually stuttered throughout my part, I do apologize. But I also want to thank Cush a big ton for allowing me on here. It was pretty fun to address my points, and I hope I do actually get a chance to do this again with him in the future. And I'm gonna advertise my channel here. What I just do basically is just memes. I don't always post, but I'm gonna try posting soon. do my voice or anything. I don't think I will in the future, but if you like my content, please check my channel in the description. And best wishes for Cush for trying to review the last movie here. Thank you.